Almost, let's say almost half of Americans don't have any market, any money invested in the market because of fear. And again, it's a personal preference. A lot of individuals have real estate, maybe they flip homes, they do other type of investments. I'm not saying that's the only way, but think about all the things that we purchase every day. Hey, we're back, and I just wanted to jump on here today, showing off my much needed quarantine haircut. Other than that, just wanted to share my thoughts as usual, and just have some thoughts. Like, basically, have you ever wondered why there's always a lot of news and so much financial news when it comes to investing, right? And it can be very overwhelming. And I'm speaking for myself. Whenever you want to understand, you want to get your foot in the door, you want to get your feet wet, as they say, and start putting some money for your future or just to start investing your money. And now with the whole quarantine, we've been home. I really have been, I guess, because I love, always studied finances and really had an inkling for it. Understanding, like, we all want to invest. You have the money, you already have the discipline, and you really want to just start investing. And one of the hardest things to do, I think, is kind of like eventually put your money into investing. What to buy, what to invest in, how, when, how often. Do I do it every month? Do I do it once a year? Do I do a IRA, Roth, 401k, my own investments? So the funny thing is that every single option, it's okay, right? It's a personal, I would say, preference, and I learned that because just like anything in life, there's a lot of indecision, a lot of what ifs, and and fear. And to be honest, most of the things that we deal with in life, it's regarding to our fear. How much fear you have of certain thing will either get you to act or not act. And if one thing I could take away from learning of putting your money to grow for you, eventually build your long term wealth, is that you have to get over that fear of I would say fear of just losing it all. There's definitely, especially if you're a millennial like myself, that's been to the 2008 recession, understanding how things just went dwindled down, and a lot of individuals lost a lot of money, and not only did the market go down, but homes and a lot of things that kind of backfired on a lot of economic professionals. But don't let that be a roadblock or a hesitation to invest for the long term. I think we'll be okay if you're investing for the long term. If you have a strategy for long term investment. And to be honest, I know that a lot of individuals might recommend it, talk about it, but there's articles out there that a lot of Americans, almost, let's say almost half of Americans, don't have any market, any money invested in the market because of fear. And again, it's a personal preference. A lot of individuals have real estate, maybe they flip homes, they do other type of investments. I'm not saying that's the only way, but think about all the things that we purchase every day. And again, I'm not getting paid by anything to kind of give you guys an example of why to invest and why not. Just a personal preference of how I know that I've been a consumer for most of my life, and now trying to be kind of an investor, understanding the companies and companies I buy from, it gives you a different feeling when you're buying from them and you're investing in them, right? You have a stock, you have a interest in those corporations. You're building for your future. And we know that salaries, you can negotiate a salary, you can negotiate better pay rates, but does not guarantee you're gonna get it, right? Most of the time you won't. Most of the time you're at the mercy of your employer. But when you have your money and you have a right to, freedom to invest it, your investments are not at the mercy of the owners of the company. The investments at the mercy of the profit of the company, whatever that company makes, and that is not up to your boss. That is up to the market. So I think that there's a little more freedom, and us understanding that we, as I would say millennials, we've kind of have a lot of access to a lot of tools, a lot of information. But I think that could also be a bad thing, because when we do too much research, too much, I would say, too much thinking, we hold back from actually taking action. And if anything comes to like investing in long term, and you want to be lazy like me, you need to start just investing in something that's very simple, very diversified, that gives you a lot more protection towards losses if that's what you're scared of. But it's just, I guess, just taking that action of investing, because as we know, if you just you save your money, that's great, but savings alone, as we know now, are not gonna build your future wealth. As we know, compound interest is where that magic is at, and where most of the millionaires today and wealth that you see today is due to that fact, and of years and years of compound interest. And we're talking about 10, 20, 30, 40. Some families have 50 years of just wealth building throughout the generations, and now their families are just basically living off of this wealth that was built many years ago. So as we know, if it's up to you, especially if you're minorities like myself and you come from urban communities, it's up to us to kind of just start that wheel, and if maybe we don't see it in our lifetime, maybe our kids will see it, hopefully, and our grandkids, and just hopefully set them up in a better position than we were set up. Not that we're complaining, but I think it's very easy to get caught up in the fear of, like, what to and what not to invest in. And honestly, if you look around you, there's never fears of telling us why you should buy, why you shouldn't buy this. Even though when you're buying something that's materialistic, your money's not going to come back to you unless it has some type of value in the market. There's never really scare tactics when it comes to that. I feel like there's a lot of other ways of us telling us, oh, don't put your money into here. The market's going to crash. I don't think any of us know. I don't know. None of us know. It might happen. It might not. But if you live your life based upon that, I think you're never going to get your foot in the door. And you're going to, I think at the end of the day, you're going to lose money, because the time that you're kind of withholding yourself from putting it into the market is going to take away from your earnings, because you have it sitting in the bank. And again, this is someone that, as a person, if you have the money, you have this discipline, and you're ready to start like investing your money, and you don't know what to invest in, sometimes starting with your investments, simple ones as usual, basics, I would say basic index funds is the way to go for me. But everybody's different, right? Everybody has their own way of investing, buying certain stocks, or even trading stocks, whatever works for you. But start investing, because I think personally, we want to have an end goal, right? And if it's just going to work every single day and just putting money away, and hopefully you're going to retire in 40 years, great. But I think most of us, that is not what we want, right? We want to work and build something, but at the end of the day, we don't want to wait until we're 60 or 70 to stop working, right? We want to start investing as early as possible, and hopefully be able to not be where we don't want to be for a long time. Hopefully do things at our terms, on our time, and what we love to do, and to keep us young, keep us active, and creative. And in order to do that, you want to have some type of financial stability or security. Obviously, there's no security. We don't know what can happen, but at least if you're building a plan and you're building towards it, you have more of a strategy than no strategy at all. And I would love to hear your comments and see understanding like where you're at and how your strategy is for investing and whether you invest or not. Because right now a lot of the millennials are not investing. We're not really putting money away for ourselves in the future. And I would love to hear why not. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.